Okay. So echelon form is what? Let us see what is it, what it is written. A matrix A is said to be the echelon matrix if all 0 rows of the matrix A follow all non-zero rows of A. Okay, all 0 rows of the matrix follows all non-zero rows of A. And number 2 is the number of zeros preceding the first non-zero element of a row increases as we move down the rows. So look at the statement carefully. What the first criteria says that all 0 rows. What do we mean by 0 row? 0 row means in a matrix, if each particular element of a row is 0, then it is considered to be a 0 row. And if at least one element will be there which is not 0, non-zero, then it will no more be a 0 row. Okay, so all 0 rows are followed by all non-zero rows. And what else is there? That is the number of zeros preceding the first non-zero element in a particular row increases as we move down the rows. Okay, so let us see if I am going to write a matrix on the whiteboard. What we are doing is rank. It's not rank. First, we are having the echelon matrix. Echelon matrix. Echelon matrix. All right. What it says that the first criteria that all 0 rows followed or follows non-zero rows. Okay. Second is as we move down the rows, number of zeros preceding the first non-zero element. Preceding, this is the important word, preceding the first non-zero element as we move down the rows. As we move down the rows. All right. So let's see, let us take a particular example. If I take it as 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 5. All right. So this is a form of echelon matrix, or else if I can write one more 0 row also over here, 0, 0, 0. This is a form of echelon matrix. See, all 0 row followed by all non-zero rows, first criteria. But a matrix may not have a 0 row always. Okay, it is not mandatory the matrix should have always a 0 row. Okay, we can omit this part also. The main criteria is the second one, which says that all number of zeros preceding the first non-zero element in each row must be increases or non-decreasing as we move down the rows. Say for example, how many zeros are there before the first non-zero element in the first row? If you can tell me. How many zeros are there in the first row before the first preceding the first non-zero? Preceding means before. Before the first non-zero element, how many zeros are there? Yes. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm not getting any responses from your side. That's why I'm telling you. Is it okay? Am I audible clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so do make the response as and when I'm asking you something. Okay, otherwise it will be difficult for me to communicate. Acha. So in the first row, how many zeros are there preceding the first non-zero element?
There's no zeros,
No
ma'am.
zeros. In the second row?
2 zeros.
Yes, that's what I need to know. That's why I need your responses. It is not 2, it is 1 0, because see what the statement is saying, that we need to consider those zeros preceding the first non-zero element. So what is the first non-zero element in the second row? What is the first non-zero element in the second row?
1.
1.
1.
Preceding 1, how many zeros are there?
1.
1. So here we have only one zeros. Yes, here we have only one zeros preceding the first non-zero element. Okay. Since we are seeing the total row contains 2 zeros, but we are going to consider only one because it is preceding the first non-zero element, right? Okay. Now, as we move down the row, for the third row, the number of zeros preceding the first non-zero element is how much? 2. All right. Well, first non-zero element is what? 5, and before 5 we have 2 zeros. All right. So you can see that as we move down the rows, the number of zeros preceding the first non-zero element is increasing. It may be either increasing, or you can write somewhere, you will find it is non-decreasing. It will never be decrease. If it is not increasing also, it will never be decrease. Okay. So these are the criteria. If I have a structure of a matrix like this, then we say that that matrix is the echelon matrix. Now, one thing that I need to tell you, that every matrix, whichever is given to you, can be converted into its echelon form. Okay. Now see, in the echelon matrix, what we are considering? We are considering the rows. So we can do with a particular matrix, if A be any matrix given to you, you can do row operations. You mind it, only row operations. You can do row operations to convert the matrix to its echelon form. Echelon form. So every matrix has its echelon form after doing some row operations. Okay. So in the further part, we can see that we are going to find the rank of a matrix using this concept, that a particular matrix is given to you and we are reducing that matrix to its echelon form by doing some row operations. And based on that echelon form, we are going to identify the rank of a matrix. So now, is the concept or is the structure of echelon matrix is clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now let us come to the rank. Basically what it is, and by definition, what we can say about rank. See, this is your echelon matrix. Now see, rank of a matrix, what they are saying it as, a natural number R is said to be the rank of a matrix A if there is at least one rth order non-singular square submatrix of A. Non-singular, all we know what it is, determinant not equal to 0. Determinant of the matrix is not equal to 0, then it is said to be non-singular. Okay. And what else? Second criteria is every square submatrix of order greater than R is singular. Every square submatrix of order greater than R is singular. Clear? That means if I consider the natural number, rank is nothing but a natural number R. That natural number for which I will get at least one rth order non-singular submatrix from A, and every matrix of order greater than R, whatever the rank we have taken of order greater than that, every submatrix of order greater than that will be singular. That means determinant of every such matrix will be equals to 0. Clear? Okay. So let us take an example. If I go to the whiteboard and I am writing an example like this, say 1 1 5 1 0 1 0 2 1 2 3 0 0 0 0 0. Achha. Now look at the matrix. This is a fourth order matrix, fourth order square matrix, right? I'm saying that rank of this matrix is rank of this matrix is 3. If I say rank is 3, then I must have a square submatrix, at least one square submatrix of order 3, which is non-singular. Are we getting that? Are we getting that?
No, ma'am.
A submatrix
Can
which
you
is not.
repeat again?
I'm saying that rank of the matrix is 3. If the rank of the matrix is 3, or you can check it from 1 to 3. How can I get that rank of the matrix is 3? Okay, you can say that rank of the matrix is 2. Okay, if the rank of matrix is 2, then what is, according to definition, what is my criteria? That I must get a second order submatrix which is non-singular, which is non-singular. So are you getting that? Any second
Yes,
order? Yes, so many second order matrix we are getting which is non-singular. We can do this, we can take this one, we can take this one, we can take this one, like this. Okay, so many second order submatrix are there from here. All right. Okay, but what more criteria is there? That every matrix of greater than, of order greater than 2, if I am taking rank to be 2, then every matrix of order greater than 2 must be singular. So order greater than 2 means, say, order 3. Is every submatrix of order 3 singular over here? Is every square matrix of order 3 singular over here? Can you tell me? What?
No, ma'am.
No, we are not getting that, because here again some submatrix of order 3 is there which are non-singular. So it is not possible. So let us take rank to be 3. Now if you take rank to be 3, we are getting a submatrix of order 3 which is non-singular, obviously. At least one we can get from here, right? Okay. We are getting a third order submatrix from here. Third order submatrix which is non-singular. Are you agreed? Are you agreed?
Yeah.
Okay, but every matrix of order greater than 3. What about it? Every matrix of order greater than 3. What about it? Singular or non-singular? Yes. Orpita, once more. Every matrix of...
There is one that is completely zero.
Your voice is not clear. Anyone else want to try that? Every matrix of order greater than 3. That means, say, of order 4. Every matrix of order 4. What about that? Acha, can you tell me how many matrices of order 4 are there over here?
One, ma'am.
Only one, and that is what? Singular or non-singular?
That is
Non-singular.
singular because the determinant is zero.
Yes, that is singular because the last row in that fourth order matrix is 0. 0 row. So if a determinant contain a total 0 row, obviously value of the determinant becomes 0. So fourth order becomes singular. Okay. So what I can say, that rank of the matrix is 3 because we are getting at least one third order submatrix which is non-singular, and every matrix of order greater than 3 is singular. So this is the way we can go. We can move on by definition, but it is a tedious task for us to check out each and every rank. Say I am first checking out rank equals to 2, then I am checking out rank whether it is 3 or not. So instead of doing that, there is a procedure. There are some steps where we can utilize the concept of echelon matrix to check what is the, or to identify the rank of a particular matrix. So let us do that steps at first. Okay. So steps to identify rank. Steps to identify rank of a matrix. Rank of matrix. Steps to identify the rank of the matrix. The very first step is, whichever the matrix is given to you, First, transform that matrix to its echelon form. Okay. Tale doing row operations. So perform row operations to transform the matrix to its echelon form. Okay. Then number of non-zero rows. Number of non-zero rows, the echelon matrix contains is equal to the rank of the matrix. Rank of the matrix. All right. So the number of non-zero rows, what the echelon matrix, after obtaining the echelon matrix, the number of non-zero rows it contains, that is equals to the rank of the matrix. All right. Have you understood how we are going to move on? Right. So these are the steps. These two are the steps how to identify the rank of a matrix. Now let us take a particular example so that we can find the rank of that particular matrix. Yes, apply elementary row operations on the matrix, convert the matrix to a row reduced echelon form. The number of non-zero rows equals to the rank of the matrix. So let us take a matrix, this one, 1, 1, 1, 1, minus 1, minus 1, 3, 1, 1. So let us do this problem on the whiteboard. Okay. So I'm taking a matrix, whichever is written over there, 1, 1, 1, 1, minus 1, minus 1, then it is 3, 1, 1, right? 3, 1, 1. Yes, 3, 1, 1, 1 minus 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. All right. So let me go to the whiteboard. Yes. So now see how the row operations I can give over here. Acha. While doing the row operations, you need to keep in your mind that echelon matrix means as we move down the rows, the number of zeros preceding the first non-zero element will be increasing. That means at first, our target is to make these elements to be zero to get the echelon form. The very first element of second row onwards should be zero. So to make them zero, what I can do is R2, what the operation I can do is R2 minus R1. And here it is R3 minus 3R1. So let us do that. First row remains as it is. R2 minus R1 means 0, minus 2, minus 2. R3 minus 3R1 means 0, minus 2, minus 2. All right. Now, which element is my target next? See, in this second row, I have got 1, 0. So in the third row, I must get 2, 0 before the first non-zero element. So now, secondly, this element is my target to make it 0. So what operation I can do over here? R3 minus R2. This is my next row operation. So it is 1, 1, 1. R2 remain as it is, 0 minus 2 minus 2. And the third one is 0, 0, 0. So look at the form now from the matrix that it is being reduced. It will no more be reduced. It will not be reduced anymore to get more number of zeros preceding the first non-zero element. So this is the reduced echelon matrix. This is the reduced echelon matrix. All right. Okay. Now, what is your conclusion? That number of non-zero rows this matrix contains equals to the rank of the matrix. So how many non-zero rows it is containing?
2.
2. So rank of the matrix is, say this matrix is our A. So I can say rank of A equals to 2. All right. Clear? Is there any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So
No,
now, okay. So now I'm giving you a particular matrix for which you are going to find the rank. Okay.